Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're tackling a massive problem in modern machine learning, but we're looking at a seriously elegant mathematical solution, the db Transformer Simulator. If you've ever wanted to pop the hood on the AI architectures running the world right now, but felt totally locked out, well, you're in exactly the right place. So here's the core issue we're all facing. Prototyping transformers, it is unbelievably expensive. We're talking massive cloud computing bills, enormous data sets, and incredibly deep pockets. For a lot of researchers, students, and honestly, even seasoned engineers, the transformer is basically this giant, impenetrable black box. You feed data in, magic comes out, right? But tweaking its internal mechanics without a supercomputer, that's felt pretty much impossible. Until now. Here's our roadmap for today. We're going to cover 1. Democratizing the transformer architecture. 2. The forward-pass dynamical system. 3. Tuning parameters and states. 4. Testing architectural scenarios. And 5. Visualizing information flow. Let's dive right in. Section 1. Democratizing transformer architecture. First up, let's look at who exactly benefits from ditching the heavy cloud compute. Honestly, this tool is an absolute game changer across the board. If you're an NLP researcher digging into interpretability, this lets you rapidly generate hypothesis testing data. If you're a student, you can dynamically visualize things like sinusoidal positional encodings without training a single model. And for the ML engineers out there, imagine evaluating hyperparameter configs, like network depth or width, before you ever commit to a pricey training run. It basically hands you quantitative, reproducible evidence on a silver platter. Now, quick reality check here. Take a look at this notice from the documentation. It's really important to remember that the artifacts this simulator produces are computationally inspired synthetic data sets. They're built to brilliantly illustrate the mathematical phenomena from transformer research, not to just copy original experimental data. So think of it as an incredibly accurate playground, but, still a playground. Moving on to Section 2, the forward-pass dynamical system. Let's pop open the engine itself and see how this actually works. So, the really clever part is how db approaches the architecture. Instead of needing massive datasets to learn, the simulator models the transformer as a deterministic forward-pass dynamical system. What does that mean? It means it applies fixed parameterized transformations to an input tensor, and the state just evolves, layer by layer. By tracking the signal flow and attention weight matrices step by step, we can analyze the whole architecture purely mathematically. Section 3. Tuning parameters and states. We've seen the engine, so let's check out the dials and the dashboard. In this simulator, we can cleanly separate what we control from what we observe. On the input side, we've got our parameters. These are the adjustable settings, like dropout rate, embedding dimension, or layer count. And on the output side, we have our state variables. This is what the simulator actually measures during the forward pass. Things like encoder residual streams or attention entropy, which are measured in units called nats. For those inputs, you can easily tweak foundational variables right in the code. For example, look at the D model parameter here. That's the hidden embedding dimension from the original transformer paper, set at a baseline of 512. Right next to it, num heads is set to 8. And the cool thing is, adjusting these instantly recalculates everything downstream. You can also adjust the network depth by tweaking the num layers. We've got it set to 6 here. Or, and this is where it gets really fascinating, you can tweak the temperature_scale, which defaults to 1.0. Changing this lets researchers study exactly how scaling the softmax function modifies attention sharpness. It's literally like replicating complex interpretability studies right on your laptop. All right, Section 4, Testing Architectural Scenarios. This is where we see how grouping these parameters creates ready-to-use testing environments. The simulator actually gives you 7 unique scenarios right out of the box, so there's no need to manually configure every single variable to get started. You can run sweeps comparing a standard 6-layer baseline to a narrow model with only 4 heads, just to see how that reduced width impacts attention. Or you could compare high and low temperature states to see how softer versus sharper attention changes the flow of information. Take the deep scenario, for example. By pushing things out to a 12-layer deep model, which, by the way, is equivalent to a BERT-based architecture, you can study exactly how residual norms grow and how attention entropy decays over those long forward passes. It's basically the perfect sandbox for predicting which depth configurations will work best way before you ever spin up a server. And finally, Section 5, Visualizing Information Flow. How do we actually make sense of all these mathematical results? Well, the simulator generates these fantastic 20 by 20 attention heat maps, and there's a specific trick to reading them. First, verify that the rows sum to 1, thanks to softmax normalization. Second, you want to look for diagonal patterns. Those show the model's local focus, where a token is paying attention to itself or its immediate neighbors. And third, keep an eye out for off-diagonal peaks. Those highlight the really cool long-range token relationships happening within the sequence. What makes all of this so incredibly practical is how it's packaged. Every single insight from those scenarios exports directly into comprehensive CSV files, featuring 24 dataset columns of per-layer, per-head metrics. And alongside that, it spits out 10 publication quality figures showing positional encodings and entropy profiles. It's practically begging to be dropped right into your next research presentation or engineering report. By turning the totally opaque black box of the transformer into a transparent glass box running right on your local machine, this simulator opens up entirely new horizons for AI research. Which really begs the question, if we can analyze the complex attention of a transformer on a standard laptop today, what other machine learning black boxes are we going to unlock and democratize tomorrow? Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer.